that Farnston girl, I'll show you how unreasonable I can be.
Then I'm gonna whack you with my sailor hat.
We are on episode 6 of season 1 of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And the movie they're going to be watching today is The Crawling Hand. There's no shorts in this one. And the riffs on this movie come a lot slower. You know, this would have been a better movie to cover in the later seasons, since a lot of things they do in the later seasons, such as anytime they see an animal putting words into the animal's mouth, or in this case, you get the monster, a crawling hand, making the crawling hand talk. They don't really do too much riffing on that. It's more just commenting on things on screen, rather than interacting with the screen by pointing at things, having Tom Servo sing songs randomly, which Kevin Murphy would do anytime things got a little too boring. He would just start singing. He has a good voice, but it's also kind of funny. And really getting that quick wit where they're playing off of each other and riffing several times a minute. This is still the first season. They're still going quite slow. And while this movie is better than the last movie we saw, The Corpse Vanishes, it still is a bit of a chore to get through, because the movie barely delivers on what it promises. In fact, the parts with the crawling hand are some of the least interesting. The love story that they try to do at the beginning is actually more engaging than the monster, because it's such a pedestrian and silly monster, literally just a hand. And obviously they film it so it looks like it's a disembodied hand anytime that it moves, and it's just probably a stagehand moving his hand around. It's so low effort. This could have maybe passed in the 1930s, but this is 63. And like an episode they'll cover later, Future War, which tries to rip off Jurassic Park, and Terminator at the same time. It's unbelievable Future War was released in the 90s, and it's pretty unbelievable something like this, The Crawling Hand, was released in the 60s. I mean, this is the same year that amazing movies like Blood Feast came out.
Should be viewed by anyone with a heart condition or anyone who is easily upset.
I'm not gonna let anyone hurt you. You're my girl, aren't you?
This episode almost seems like a bit of a reboot for Mystery Science Theater, since he starts the episode doing a callback to the KTMA, where he introduces himself, almost like he should have done this in the first episode, so they're doing it now.
Earth. My name is Joel, and I'm marooned in outer space. Is there anybody out there? Is there anyone out there? If unable to communicate audibly, insert binary code now. Hello? Oh boy, am I glad you're here. My name's Joel Hodson, and this is the Satellite of Love. It's a space station of my own design. Isn't she something? The movie today is The Green Slime.
And like episode 1, The Crawling Eye, we're going to get a lot of hand puns. I mean, it's hard not to do it. But honestly, that was the best part of The Crawling Eye. So this starts out with an invention exchange, like every episode has started out so far.
Longer arm to reach something or change the channel, just use our limb lengthener here.
Yes, just select the appropriate limb. In this case, Larry's volunteered his arm. Where? Oh, it doesn't hurt that much, you whiny baby.
But the way this hand arrives on Earth is that an astronaut comes in for a crash landing, and then the main character, Paul Lawrence, and his girlfriend finds this hand washed out on the beach as they're gallivanting around and showing a little PG-13 skin. I'm not kidding, this is one of the better scenes of the movie. You at least get to see some interaction between them. The girl's good looking, and they play a little love story.
Swimsuit with a codpiece.
Oh, just for the halibut.
Is something wrong?
Sorry.
Stop it. You're giving me a headache.
Oh. You're a pain in the bass.
You have no soul.
Oh.
The students wanted me and that.
You see, this is no ordinary hand. It's a hand from outer space. In fact, maybe that would have been a better title. The Killer Hand from Outer Space. It would at least given more energy to it. But I've forgotten the best part. This movie features Alan Hale, the skipper himself from Gilligan's Island, as Sheriff Townsend. And they are able to make some jokes at his expense. He's not in this movie very much, though. You might think like he's the main sheriff. We're going to see him all the time. We maybe see him for 5 or 6 minutes in this entire duration. They edited the film a little bit, obviously, to fit on Mystery Science Theater. But we just don't see him that much. But they are able to make some funny jokes, and I'll feature some of them. Once again, with Crow knocking it out of the park. Reaching his hand up to the sky like the great Bambino, and just hitting home run after home run.
Maybe you don't want to stay here in the house. I could drive you over to my house and we'll find you another place tomorrow.
I've got a couple of hammocks and a sailor's hat I'd like you to wear.
No.
But the crawling hand is extremely disjointed. There are a few scenes that are like decent, as I mentioned with the beach scene, and when they're in high school, these people are not literally high school students, they're in their 20s, but they're playing high school students. And then we get the crawling hand itself, which is just as ridiculous as it sounds. It's a hand, and it doesn't really even crawl. It's more like they just shoot from someone's forearm with the camera, so it's someone's forearm, and just wave it in the air. And then at the end, they have a prosthetic arm. You don't really get any stop motion. You don't get any corny effects. This is such a low effort villain, and it's almost like they realize this halfway through. He sees this crawling arm on the beach. He decides to take it home, and it possesses him. So at first, it kills his landlady. The crawling hand does. And then it turns him kind of into a zombie. It's like they're realizing halfway through, we just cannot have a crawling hand that barely moves, strangles people off screen. This is too pathetic, even for this low-budget movie. So the crawling hand possesses him, since it's an alien from outer space. And we see some scenes where Paul, for lack of a better term, turns into a zombie, or as Crow mentions here, looks like a certain punk rock pioneer.
Hey, it's Sid Vicious.
That was rotten, Johnny.
And she's Nancy. And that looks a lot like the Chelsea Hotel.
So you have the crawling hand, then you have the possessed Paul. Neither of them are very good villains. The possessed Paul is too half-assed, and the crawling hand is too half-assed. They probably should have stuck with one. But I understand their dilemma. The crawling hand is such a terrible idea for a villain, because it just doesn't do anything. And it's not like it moves across the screen like in the Addams Family with the hand it. At least that could be maybe intimidating. Also, every single kill in this movie is someone being strangled. So you don't get any creative knife kills or anything like that. Just corny strangles. This movie is quite bad. It gives them something to riff on, but whew, it is a disjointed mess. Going from a high school drama to then a killer hand, to them kind of giving up that concept and turning him into a zombie, to then ending with him fighting the hand.
Ouch.
Oh, gee. Oh.
Hey, hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, now tell that to the rest of your body.
And not enough Alan Hale. So I would not say this is a essential Mystery Science Theater 3000. The host segments are okay. They do end it the way that I prefer, where Joel asks each of the robots to say something good about the movie and something bad about the movie, then gives them a RAM chip. I mentioned this before. I like it when they end it this way. They don't always do it, but in season 1, I think about half of them end this way.
Yeah. And the bad thing?
Bad thing was, never trust a delivery man.
Right, okay, here's your RAM chip.
The thing was, there was a Swedish babe in the film who didn't get killed.
Yeah, and the bad thing?
She didn't spend the time on her makeup that it deserved as the film went on.
Okay, here's your RAM chip, pal.
There's also the first episode, right after Joel gives the robots the RAM chips at the end, where he reads a fan letter, and they post the Mystery Science Theater 3000 fan club. And I believe this is the first mention of it. It's at least the first mention of it on the television show. And this is something that Joel will do throughout the seasons, where they get fan mail and they read some of the fan mail. In this case, it seems like they get mail from a 6-year-old kid who's watching their show and doesn't understand what's going on, and Joel's kind of making fun of the fact, is showing these kids' drawings, which look ridiculous. Because, he's a little kid.
Did some drawings. We got those in Still Store, don't we, Cambot? Okay, let's take a look at that. We got one of Crow, a Tom Servo there.
Hey,
see, isn't that neat? And then on the next one, and it's got Joel right there. See, I got a little light bulb above my head because I had a bright idea.
Too. All right, send your letters to the Mystery Science Theater Fan Club, P.O. Box 5325, Hopkins, Minnesota.
And this is why a lot of people prefer the Joel episodes to the Mike ones. I prefer the Mike ones. I think the riffs are funnier. I think the production is better. And I really like the character of Pearl. But the Joel ones are definitely more down-to-earth, homey, and feel like you're just in a small club. Sure, you could join the fan club, but we're all in a small club where they'll tell some jokes, read some fan letters, not have a bunch of stuff going on in the studio and asteroids hitting the spaceship or anything like that in the Mike episodes. And you can see why this series really caught on. I mean, if I saw this in 1989, I would love it. I still like it now, but I would absolutely love it in 89. There's nothing else like it, and he's introducing you into this world and letting you know it's okay to send fan art, fan letters, even if they're bad like this one. He's not really going to make fun of it or anything. He enjoys it. Draw characters of him. Draw Crow looking crazy. It's all good. Here in the Mystery Science Theater fan club. This is a niche show and everybody's accepted. That's really the vibe you get with this first season. So while I don't think it's essential viewing, a lot of people say start in season 2 and 3. Watching the first season, which I've never done all the way through, I've seen parts of it, you do see the show beginning to develop and where these things first originate from. That's it for this episode. Next up, we're going to cover episode 7 of season 1, Robot Monster, because we're doing all of them, and we're doing them in order. It's a 1953 black and white movie with a continuing short of Radar Men from the Moon, a series I quite enjoy. I mean, we have to see if Commander Cody can escape. So thanks for watching, and check out our playlist for all episodes of other series we've covered, like Tales from the Dark Side, Monsters, Fear Itself, Black Mirror, Cowboy Bebop, Pet Shop of Horrors, and of course, Mystery Science Theater 3000. Thanks a lot. See ya.
Nowhere I've been hiding, so be the one I need for a long time. Have an emotional stare of the wrong kind, without letting attention. Got my hands up.